These episodes are not for anyone under the age of 18. This series talks about people's experiences and time that they did overseas in war. This is not for people with weak stomachs. This is real life and 100% what these veterans have experienced. There will be harsh language and some stories that might be disturbing to some. Viewer discretion is advised. What's up, y'all? Thank you for watching the Over and Yonder podcast. For this episode, I will be interviewing Sergeant Curtis of the 82nd Airborne Infantry. He will be taking us through his tour in Benji, Iraq, and his experience that he had in the Army. I had a lot of fun doing this interview. There really wasn't much editing or anything I had to do. Once you watch it, it's comedic gold. Anything from what the people over there did as far as making porn and eating Hot Pockets. So once again, thank you for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy. What's up, buddy?
What's up, man? We're talking about military shit today.
Yeah, we'll go talk about your experience that you had in Iraq, right?
Yeah, Iraq. Yeah, Benji, Iraq, August 2006. Got back November of 2007. Then Baghdad. I think I left in December of 2008 and got back November of 2009. Not December of 2009. This was the year exactly. Yeah.
Did you have any family or anything before that kind of like motivated you to go into the military?
Yeah, my dad was in Vietnam. My dad was Army. He was a lieutenant, like a turd. And then, yeah, everybody, my grandfather, obviously, everybody's fucking grandfather. But my grandfather was infantry. My Uncle Warren, my mom's brother, he's infantry. No, was he? I can't remember what the fuck he was. But yeah, there's a bunch of people. Yeah.
Now, with your grandfather or your dad, did you hear any of like the crazy stories?
No. The only reason I heard anything from my grandfather. So I remember my grandfather passed a year after the OJ trial. Probably you weren't born.
Yeah, probably. But no,
I remember that. I think I was 10. Yeah, you definitely weren't born. No. Anyways, point is, he died a year later. But I remember before he died, we were watching some 1950s movie, but they put in color. And I remember we were watching it's a World War II movie. And these guys are digging and they're getting shot at. And my granddad looks up and goes, he's like, yeah, something to the effect of like, I've done that. Yeah, like, yeah, it really is annoying when they shoot at you while you dig. Like 10. Huh? This is real? Yeah, and then they ended up passing later for emphysema. But my dad, the only way I got him to talk about it was I had a class, 7th grade. We had to bring in like a presenter, and it was about the Vietnam War. And I was like, well, my fucking dad served. And then he came in there and was telling about like getting hand grenades thrown at him and like having like shootouts with a fucking 45 pistol with fucking Charlie. And yeah, what the fuck? That's nuts. So yeah, that was probably about it. Rarely talk about it. My dad was transportation, so like when I first got back. Transportation, you're doing convoy security and shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't that like, was he doing like the water?
Yeah, like water supplies, mail, whatever. Maybe oil or whatever, but he's in charge of the convoy. So, but yeah, I used to rip on him for that.
And I tried to talk to my granddad because he was a Vietnam veteran in the Navy, and
sat on a boat all day.
He was on a boat all day, but he was like doing like the streams and stuff. And
oh, okay.
So the one experience or whatever that I heard from Dad about him talk about was, I didn't get to hear it from him directly, but he told Dad when Dad was younger that he said something about when Dad asked him about just mowing down and cutting boats in half with a 50 cal. Yeah. And if you like anybody that knows my granddad, it's kind of hard to see that from him, because he's completely different than what it was in that one. He's a good-hearted person, and he's awesome as shit now. But so about your experience, I guess, with boot camp. Everybody has their
Oh,
funny, good stories. They're funny stories. They're bad stories. They're terrible times.
Fucking soul, if you're listening, texting me in the middle of this. So my basic. I remember going to recruit. I went in February 11th, 2005.
Okay.
And Iraq it was really kicking up. So when I got in, like, I remember my basic training. They had like gang members and fucking like just who because back then it was like, don't ask, don't tell. So it was like, first name, you gay? Can you read sometimes? Cool, sign here, bye. Fucking dude, my drill sergeants were nuts, and like a couple of them, or almost all of them, were in Afghanistan. They just rotated, through. They would be in their unit prior to this, and they would just send them to drill. If you had combat experience at that time, and you made it out alive, they'd come send you back, and you go to drill sergeant school.
Yeah.
And so they were just nuts. But this is Drill Sergeant McAllister. Never forget this fucking guy. He always used to talk about how he used to take his wife to Hooters and would like make her like look at him while he looked at the waitresses, and he would be like, "Yeah, I take my wife to Hooters because I got it like that." It's just crazy. And I remember, and that's the first time I learned about dip. I'm from DC, man, so we never you saw.
You don't have that country aspect where it's kind of like a thing here.
Yeah.
Here.
So I remember that's when I learned the effects of true nicotine, because the first day they just fuck with you the whole fucking day, literally rocks over your head. You're getting yelled at. Back then they'd say whatever to you, like your mom should have swallowed you. You're a fucking worthless piece of shit.
Yeah, they have stuff now that I heard that like they have like a sensitivity card.
No, that's
something now.
That's in like the Air Force.
Oh.
Like
I was gonna say, if you got like the Marines that go in and do this
Marines,
stuff,
I think Marines are having some kind of, they can't curse. I think in basic. I don't know. In their boot camp, I should call it. So ours is called basic training. Theirs is called boot camp.
Okay.
So, anyways, it'd just be like the whole day of them fucking with us. And I remember at the end of the day, they had to do all like the medical shit. And I remember first time I saw a horseshoe be put in the super dip.
Oh yeah, the horseshoe.
Yeah, the horseshoe.
The whole bottom.
You put it in there, and he goes, all right. He goes, all right, fuck nuts. He's like, we're gonna do this medical thing. Everybody's gonna come up one at a time. Let's just get this over with. It was like 9 o'clock, and we get the whole day. You got fucked with, literally. It's the first time I ever remember eating in 20 seconds. Just fucking hard to fuck. And and then towards the end, so I was in infantry. Well, my MLS is 11 Bravo, and I remember. So your AIT, Advanced Individual Training, is incorporated with 11 Bravo. So you go through your normal basic, treat like infantrymen. Everybody around you is infantry, everybody, and then you go into AIT, same people. At the end of AIT, I think it was like week 14. Like they know everybody's graduated, so they just start fucking with you. And you see this one thing where you'd be doing like sit-ups, right? Because you had morning PT.
Yeah.
And they'd one drill sergeant would grab your legs, and the other one would grab your fucking arms, and they'd peel you back, right? Like you're stretched out, and then the other drill sergeant would come by and do the rock bottom, where he swings like this, bitch, and just bow, and they would just do that shit. Like that was a big one. Or if you're doing push-ups, they come up behind you, do the Hulk Hogan leg drop, and just do that shit all the time. Oh my god! What? And I remember going through the door towards the end, and before you exited the chow hall, you'd have to put your arms on top of your head, and Drill Sergeant McAllister would be like, "Come here, bitch." And you'd be like, "Yeah, wham!" You'd be like, "All right."
After eating, especially like eating all that stuff at once so quick.
They just punt. Yeah, they would just they would just beat you up. But I realized, kind of like the movie Full Metal Jacket, the reason they treat you like that is you're going to war.
Oh yeah.
It can't be no sissy shit, so to speak. So you're getting fucked with. And that's the whole point. That's why they do it. But yeah, and then Airborne was easy. You just run everywhere. They don't really fuck with you. It's weird because you feel free, but you're really not. Because you have after whatever you had for the day, like 5 o'clock, you can do whatever you want. I don't have to make a bed. I don't do any of that shit. Like, dude, no shit. But you just have to run everywhere. That's a big thing at Airborne. And then I went to RIP, Ranger Indoctrination Program. It's called something different now, but that was horrible. It was just getting fucked with for like 5 weeks. And then after that, I didn't want to do the Rangers like a bitch. I'll be honest. I hate to say it out loud. I was homesick, and I got sent to Fort Benning, and they put in order, if you don't want to be there, they won't, they're like, cool, you don't want to be here, bye. And I went to the 82nd, and Fort Bragg was like closer to home. I was like 20. I was a bitch.
So what made you, I guess, choose Army over everything else? And then what was like did you, like with me, my thing was when I graduated from the jail class, we just got done watching, is it 12 hours, 13 hours with John Krasinski about Benghazi.
Oh, yeah. 13 hours?
13 hours?
Yeah.
We just got done watching that, and it's just something about, I guess, the movies or whatever just makes me so mad because I feel like I could have done something with it and had something for it. So, like, I went straight to the recruiting area in the Army, and I sat there and I did it was like a 2-hour PowerPoint thing that they had, and I was like, okay, this is cool. I'm ready to go. I was doing it behind my parents' back and everything like that, just because I didn't want mom to start crying in front of me. And then I was like, oh, okay, go. So
it was really funny. I just want to stop you real quick because the ex, you and I both know, that's a Southern thing. It's not my mom. It's just mom. That's I've always noticed about you fuckers. That is, if you talk about like your like I'd say my sister, drinks water, whatever. But it's like sister drinks water, mom drinks with. We have the same mom. This is the funny thing you guys all do it. I don't know. Sorry, continue. It's just funny to hear you guys.
Well, another big thing that I guess
she used to do that shit all the time. But like, what? Like, we related?
Am I
going to jail?
A big popular thing that we do, I guess, us Southern rednecks are we like to combine.
Yeah, it's like
words,
a kid thing. It's weird.
Like y'all and ain't and that kind of stuff.
It's weird.
We take shortcuts.
That's you know what? Also, I wish I could have taken a shortcut to McDonald's getting here. Country fucks won't have a McDonald's,
but you got a BP. I mean, God forbid.
You're gonna have Exxon, BP, or 7-Eleven within at least a 5-mile radius.
5 miles.
At least.
What are these pizza crusts or pizza? What are we having?
Pizza
rolls.
Pizza roll.
Why do I think pizza crust?
Pizza crust. It's like the pizza crusts in a bag. Actually, probably wouldn't be too bad. If you garlic them up and kind of.
Now, people who only eat crust are the same people that put kittens in microwaves. I can't trust them. I don't. You're just eating crust. I think I saw somebody do that at a restaurant one time. So
just eat the crust or eat the whole.
No.
Eat the pizza with the crust.
No, I watched it. It was a husband-wife situation, right? The husband ate the crust and the woman ate the pizza, and they acted like it was. Like I remember them having. I was in Pizza Hut, for Christ's sake. Is it younger?
He ate the pizza and she ate the crust.
No, he ate the crust. She ate the pizza. It was like a duo. Like this is disgusting.
It's like a white trash lady.
I don't know if there's white trash. It's fucking DC, and I was like, why is this happening? Like why am I like this is weird?
Maybe she just needed some carbs.
No, man. You know what, man? I hope the worst for both of them. Fuck them. I hope at some point you tripped, it fell, and severely injured like an index finger that you needed to point at the fact that what you just did is disgusting, Fuck them. God, so God. Not stop fucking. Uh-oh. I'm sorry, keep talking. I gotta check fantasy. Saquon Barkley might be
do you think? So we had, when I was going into the recruiting thing, we went through the whole entire procedure basically besides signing the papers.
Right.
And they ended up coming up behind me because everybody knows that I got that tattoo on my back that goes up my neck.
Yeah.
And with me not having a neck, I just told them basically that it was just a straight shoulder to shoulder and head kind of thing.
Right.
So it wasn't technically a neck tattoo, but they said when they walked up behind me, they says, oh yeah, we can't accept you.
Yeah, it's so stupid.
And I was like, I'm willing to go in, die for my country, do everything that I need to do, but yet that little bit of something on a tattoo that I just decided to get when I was younger is going to keep me from doing that. So, and then at that time, I met the old lady and decided not to.
Is she old? Damn, bro. I don't know.
Well, that's another Southern saying, is old lady.
I know. I hate it.
Why?
Because she's not
well,
old.
she is old. She's 26. I'm 24. So
You go fuck yourself. 36, man. I'm out here fucking destroying my girlfriend sexually. And I'm talking about how proud I am of myself. So I'm gonna drive.
Did you? Don't mean to change the subject. Did you have?
You don't want to talk about me doing that? Tell your podcast to this. I guess what Dave's doing. Like for America. I'm talking about doing it for America.
Like Will Ferrell and the other guys, where he slams on the gas and yells "America" as he's going.
Yeah, but it's my dick. Oh man, she's great though. All right, yeah, let's talk about army shit.
What rank, I guess, did you have?
Sergeant.
You had sergeant, and then
Sergeant.
what? I guess how long did it take you to get to sergeant, and then what
So
did
they
you
have
end up?
they have a phrase called 5 and 2. That means it's E5 in 2 years. Is how people do it. I made it in 2.5. Can be difficult, but you gotta be really motivated, and superiors see that, and then you gotta go to a board. So you go to a sergeant's board, all first sergeants and then sergeant major, and and then they just ask you questions, and you have this sergeant's handbook, and you gotta know these tactics, and all that stupid shit. I take that back. No, that's true. Because I got promoted, then I went to, they call it Warriors Leaders Course. The dumbest thing I've ever been a part of. So dumb. Because you're with all these what we would call pogues. So pogue means either a person other than grunt or a person without guns. So in other words, just like a supply guy or some fucking dick.
What do you mean, like a supply?
Like supply, here's your, I got your mail or something. Yeah, fuck off, nerd. Or we call them fobbits, because the idea is you're a hobbit on a forward operating base. They just, eat the defect all the time. Fat piece of shit.
Well, there's the type of guys, I used to hear stories from a couple buddies of mine, like they would send, I don't know if it was just because of newbies or rookies, but they would come in and do, they would tell them to go get the blinker fluid.
Yeah, you do that shit. Yeah.
Was that the...
No, we used to, not the infantry. Infantry, you would get back from training, and if you were new, you just got fucked with. You had to buff the floors. God, I know how to buff like a mother. I know this is wood, but I buff this wood. Dude, I know how to buff, man. Oh yeah, because they had all the higher rank, not NCOs, right? But they had specialists. So they had something called the E4 Mafia when I was there. You ever heard of that? Mm-mm. E4 Mafia is everybody who failed to make sergeant or just hasn't yet. So they think they're superior because they've been there a while. So they just fuck with new guys, and it was brutal. It's so fucking brutal. And then as more new guys came, I stopped getting fucked with. But yeah.
Now, when you were talking about, kind of backtracking, when you were talking about the chow hall and stuff, was there something in the chow hall that was kind of stood out better than anything else, as far as food and stuff goes?
Overseas or back home?
Back home.
No, this is all shit. Because you gotta remember, Cook is an MOS. I don't know if it still is, but Cook is an MOS. So back home, it's these whack motherfuckers.
My lieutenant was a cook.
Yeah, dork, isn't he? Fucking dork. Yeah, they're all dorks. I met an SF guy who was a cook beforehand. I was like, you're the first one to die here. Guarantee it, 100%. But overseas it was better because they contract, and we had Sri Lankans. People from Sri Lanka would they made good food. A lot of bacon, which is weird because they're Indian. But they were very good at making bacon. I always remember that. I was like, this is illegal.
Well, I don't know if, I guess they
probably... No, I'm sorry, not bacon. I apologize. I'm thinking of the other one. They any beef patties, they were really good.
Oh, okay.
They did make good bacon, but yeah, beef patties. That's what they made the most ballin' hamburgers.
Did you have a favorite MRE or anything?
Yeah. So it's number 6 is Chili Mac.
Yeah,
I think
I've tried Chili Mac. Chili Mac was
pretty good.
Chili Mac's pretty good.
But my favorite was spaghetti, and I think it was number 9 or 12. I can't remember. I just remember them being in pairs of 3s. Because I think jambalaya was... I probably got this all backwards. But yeah, spaghetti was number 1, because every once in a while you get Skittles. That was the best, dude. I sound like an inmate.
One time.
Yeah, in a way, yeah.
Yo, man, one time, man, someone put some money in my books.
Somebody put some money in my books,
I
was able to get some bag of Cheetos.
Yeah, bro, he's fucking real. And then, like, I remember my dad was like, "Hey, grab me a box of MRAs." Why? I'd rather starve than eat this dog shit. I mean, because you have so many, I used to just bring them home and be like, "All right, here you go, fuck nuts."
Yeah, I wonder if it's something that I guess it's habit forming, and you just kind of expected that kind of stuff. Like,
yeah, it is. It's true.
It's kind of like your routine. Like you have a morning routine, you have a midday routine, anything like that. You kind of just expected that with like the MREs and stuff like that.
Yeah, but it's also like you can get fucking big on MREs.
Well, yeah, they have. Is it the sodium content?
That's a good question. I don't know. I just know that you can get fucking yanked. You can either get big, like if you work out and eat nothing but. And I think we had a guy my first deployment do that. Just eat nothing but MREs. He's pretty big. But you also get a fat body. Or you just get sick of them after a while, and that's that. The only cool thing about MREs is they used to have these coffee packets. Mm-hmm. And what you used to do, if you were on an OP, right, overwatch position, fucking take it and use it as a dip. And stay awake, because you got fucking coffee grinds in your mouth. Yeah, man. It tasted like shit, but fuck, that stuff worked.
I guarantee it.
Yeah.
Especially coming out of MRE.
Oh, yeah. Did you really bring pizza rolls? Yeah. No, keep recording. Rachel needs to be in this. Look at that arm. All right. Thank you, Rachel, for doing this. This is high-class service right here.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you, man. All right, what else are we asking?
I guess... Who are... You said you were talking about your...
That's not.
Probably just got out the oven.
Jesus Christ. Been in that thing, almost died, bro. First guess.
I don't know what it is up north, but you got the best way to go for a pizza roll is you bite a corner out. Yeah. You bite a corner out.
That's hot as shit.
You bite it enough of it where you can blow it out.
Video, isn't it?
And then
it's like, fuck.
Woo! You bite a corner out just enough to where it's not hot, and then you blow it out, and it'll blow.
Rachel, come put this back in the
hot.
Put this in the freezer. Fuck. All right. Anyways, what were you asking?
So you had some people that you were talking about earlier that had made, I guess, a impact in your life on the boot camp and stuff. Do you have, I guess, who is that for what you had overseas and whatnot? Like, who had some cool people that you met and stuff like that?
There's a lot of cool people I met. You mean like units? Like British people or...
Just any of them, yeah.
I mean, I met a lot of good guys that I played with. When I first got there, the Iraqi army were all Kurdish. So Kurds hate Arabs. Hate. And I love all Kurds. Most of them speak English very fluently. A lot of them learned it from watching DVDs. What they would do is they would put on like a big movie over there was Troy and The Mask. That was huge. And Tom and Jerry too. A fucking handgun hurts, bro. This thing's fucking
when it burns you?
Christ. They got 3rd-degree burn. Look at that. It's fucking red. The fuck temperature you put us on 800.
The thing is, yeah, those things are...
Shit. Anyways, and they learned English by watching Troy and The Mask. What they would do is they would put on Arabic subtitles and hear the English version. I thought that was kind of cool, yeah. So, yeah. I mean, we did missions with everybody. Rangers, Special Forces, SAS. Never Delta. One time we had to help out Delta with something. I remember being on Route Tampa and we couldn't see what they were doing, but they like jumped out of a helicopter and fucked shit up and left. Probably killed somebody really dangerous. But yeah, I mean, there are a lot of cool people. A lot of good people over there, man. Iraqis are good people. They're just like, the way it's been explained to me is they're like the Alabama of the Middle East. It's kind of dumb. But fuck, man, this is torture. I'm hungry, but I don't want to sacrifice, drinking lava. My fucking hand still hurts me. Look at this fucking red. I'm gonna die. Anyways,
Where, I guess with everything that you were talking about, where did you serve a majority of your time in your service?
Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Most miserable place in America. Wow, that's not true. Because there was Jacksonville, North Carolina, and that's where Camp Lejeune is, and that place fucking sucks. Fayetteville, at least, is like surrounding shit. Like, you can drive to Raleigh, Charlotte, Wilmington, place like that. But, yeah, it's pretty desolate area. Tattoo parlors and strip clubs, baby. That's it. That's it. Like a Ranger Joe's.
And what made Stupid that, house. I guess, what made that area so, I guess, not appealing?
Strip clubs and bars, baby?
No, the Fort Bragg, I guess, was it Fort Bragg?
Hey.
Not the other spot, yeah, that would be cool. That'd be fine, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Fort Bragg, well, the problem with Fort Bragg is a dog and pony show. And what I mean by that is our parades are like a big deal. So we have this divisional parades every year. Sometimes I think we missed 3 of them, luckily, when I was overseas. But I think it was 3. It was 2. Can't remember. I missed some, but they're off. So the last one I went to, like, your shit's got to be perfect. Your weapons got to be spotless, which it always should be, but you know what I mean. You gotta like march out in this heat, and like the president will usually come by. I saw George Bush like really close. He's fucking short as shit.
Is he really?
Oh, he's tiny. Yeah. Yeah. It's just it's if you're special forces and you're trying to make E8, so master sergeant or first sergeant. Yeah, so this guy's trying to make E7, E8. They usually go to the 82nd. And Rangers, same thing. They try to rank up. It's the easiest place to rank up if you come from JSOC. Every once in a while, I see like a Delta guy there trying to make sergeant major, but that's about it.
Now, you had a story of one of the guys when we were at the sheriff's office. We worked together at the sheriff's office, by the way.
Sheriff's office. High five, Sheriff Chan.
Yeah, high five, Sheriff Chan.
He's awesome.
Up Moore County. You had a story about some guy with a weight.
Oh, try to weight around his dick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I try to get his. Yeah.
Was that in basic or was that?
No, that was when we were. That's when we got back from our first deployment. He decided that he had this idea that he was going to take a 5-pound weight and double wrap dental floss and tied it around his dick. Like one of those like old lady weights, you always see like the old ladies.
Yeah, like the
walk. Yeah. They would fast walk and they got like little weights. A 5-pound weight wanted to stretch his dick out. I mean, I don't know if it worked or not, but I never followed up. But yeah, tied around his dick and let the weight hang, and he would stare in the mirror with his arms together and like fucking like psych himself up or something. I don't know what he's doing.
You have to almost psych yourself.
I guess I don't know. You got a fucking 5-pound weight hanging from your dick
with dental floss. Good God.
Hey man, that shit's powerful.
Yeah, it ain't that. It's just the fact that it's like, it's kind of like when you tie a knot on like a fishing line and whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
Cut your finger and stuff. Like, good God. Yeah. Like,
your fishing line is fucking, you should have done that. Probably would just.
Yeah, it probably just went.
Fucking like fishing line, no shit.
It probably would have been like a
That's why they use that. I always see like people in movies use piano wire. I'm like, fishing wire is way cheaper and easy to obtain.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyways.
So, with your experience overseas, how many tours did you do?
2.
You did 2. So talk about your first one.
First one was really bad in Benji. I was there when they did the insurgent or the surge into Baghdad. It was the summer of 07. John Petraeus, who was the commander of Iraq, I think at the time, he had this wild idea to push everybody into Baghdad. Well, when that happened, it was like stepping on an anthill, right? All the ants go out. So all the ants came into our area. And we got hit pretty hard. Lost a lot of good people, but it was a learning experience. But I lost a lot of friends and a couple to injury, but for the most part, yeah. I mean, it was I'm glad I did it. That's the one where I got blown out with a car bomb. Been shot at a shitload of times. Grenades thrown at me. And when I got back from that one, we were all fucked up. Everybody was fucked up. And then I went to my second one, and there was nothing. I didn't do shit. I fucking drove around and acted like at that time I was a team leader. No, I was a platoon sergeant when I first got over there. I was sergeant major. I was in charge of Sergeant Major's whole bodyguard team, and yeah. And it was then we used back when I first went over. Traffic stopped when you were coming, and if it didn't, fucking something's getting pushed out of the way.
Yeah.
And when we were that second deployment, we'd like let cars pass us and shit. I'd like lose my mind. Sergeant Major's like, yeah, let them. What the fuck, man? But it's just a different. The war was kind of, I wouldn't say it's going away, but there was other fighting in other areas, and we didn't see any of it. So all the new guys would be like, I want to see a fight. I'm like, dude, I'm on a base with a Taco Bell. Like, shut the fuck up. No, this is incredible.
It's the little thing.
Literally, I remember getting to Fob Falcon and being like, dude, there's a fucking taco. Like, all the ones who came from, because the last time we were at Fob Summerall, it was an old abandoned airfield. It was a piece of shit. But the second one, Fob Falcon, was bigger. It's Air Force, you know, ladies there. And I picked it up, you know? And they had a gym and everything. But, yeah, the second plan, I didn't do anything. I mean, you know, I did my job, but I didn't really see anything. We had one incident of a potential firefight, but that was it. Didn't do shit.
Now, what, I guess if you wish to discuss it, go into, I guess, into detail about, because I know that's what interests me, and I know a lot of the viewers and stuff is interested in, and go about the details about the experience over there on your first deployment. Like, you talked about it a little bit, but you said you had the car bomb and...
Mm-hmm. Well, my first deployment was pretty bad. You know, I went over in August of 2006. The unit we relieved was 101st. So it was the last time ever in the history of the United States Army that the 101st all left at once. When they all came back, it was fucking chaos. The entire division comes back, and everybody got PTSD. You run around fucking Fort Campbell. Oh my god. So they didn't do that. But anyways, the unit we relieved over there stopped going outside what we call the wire. Going out the wire. Right? So they stopped going outside the wire for like 2 months, I think. And they were like, yeah. Like, I remember talking to these guys, they're like, yeah, man, good luck. And the reason they stopped is because they lost control of the city. It just, you know, kind of turned against them, so they would take us out, you know, before they left in 2 weeks. And lost my train of thought. Right, so they take us out, and we wouldn't really get shot at. And the second they left, like the next day, we went on a night mission and got fucking lit up. How they fucking shot us from the ice house. I remember that. And I was like, oh shit, you know, first time, you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, hearing that loud
it's like,
click noise.
Yeah, it's like, the best way to describe it is like loud raindrops, but they have to be concentrated. So and you can hear you can see the tracers going over. It's a lot like watching somebody throw a lightsaber.
Yeah.
Stripping. But, so that was that, and it was and then it was like continuous. So, the best way I describe it is every day I left the wire, I thought I was going to die. Every day. I had the mentality. And before I went over there, my parents took us on a trip, and I met this guy who's an EMT in San Diego. And he was like, whatever you do, laugh at a dead body. Like, you have to laugh when you see it. Be it your friends, enemy, whoever. Like, because that way it will help you. And he was right. So I started doing that. You know, you'd see dead bodies all the time.
Yeah.
And yeah. And so I started like laughing at it and in my head, not like, ah, you fucking died. You know. I mean, maybe once. Maybe twice. Long time ago. Anyway. Somebody get beat on, I don't know. Point is. So, being over there and being around it, you just get used to it. So, when I went home for R&R, I was a fucking disaster. I went back Christmas time, right to my birthday, is the 5th. And I was a fucking menace to society.
I can imagine.
I've been trying to fight people at bars and shit. Dude, I didn't give a fuck, dude.
I guarantee it, absolutely.
I think I knocked somebody out. The point is, really bad. When I went back over, and it's weird because you're like, I remember driving my sister. Well, I take that back. My sister drove at the end. Very young we get back. We got extended. We were supposed to do 8 months. And John Petraeus was like, nice try. Let's add 6. I said 7. No, 6. There was 6. No, it was 7.
They added 7 months?
Yeah, because it was 15 months. 15 months deployment. And, yeah, and then, so I remember getting back. I remember my sister was like, I'll drive you back home. Because you get, like, leave, right? You get like 4 days. And then you come back for a little bit, fuck around, do what's called, they have, like, 30-day leave. So, anyways, before I did all that, got back off the plane. They're like, 4-day pass.
Right.
Cool. So I went back home. My sister drives me. And I remember, like, she's on 95. My sister's a fucking psychotic driver. So I'd see, like, a broken down car or tires sit on the side of the road and have a fucking panic. I remember going like this.
Oh, yeah.
Every time. Like, you just waiting for the explosion. So that's what it was like. And then I remember when I was on R&R, I came home at Christmas. And someone said, I was walking with my buddy Steve Brady. And I'm walking his dog. And I remember somebody set up a firework and I shoved Steve against a car and got to a knee. And I was like, oh, bro, my bad. Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, just a series of, helping out SF. We had one where we helped out Special Forces during the daytime, 10th Group, which is in Force Carson. These fucking assholes were like, we got to do, I can't remember why, but they were like, we got to hit these houses during the day. That's the intel we got, is fucking whoever they were looking for is there during the day.
Right.
So we do what's called an outer cordon. So a cordon is to rope off an area, right? So we're at all the exits, so nobody can get in, right? And we got hit all fucking day. People were fucking taking pop shot tires because you're just sitting there. Well, SF, and they're these motherfuckers being there like this, looking like, some like super Delta operator, no helmet, and they used to wear these things called dragon scale. And it's a type of body armor, and just fucking assholes are, fucking like straight out of, Call of Duty. Like, bro, put a fucking helmet on. This is driving me nuts. I remember we were sitting there, and I'm in the driver's up front. It's called a TC, truck commander. And the guy in the back, me, our gunner. Our gunner was my buddy Mac. He's on the grenade launcher, Mark 19. And we're just sitting there, just fucking hurry up, SF. Like, whoever you guys gotta find, hurry the fuck up. So all of a sudden you hear this RPG goes right over the truck. Literally, if Max stood up, he could have high-fived it. That's how fucking low it was. What's weird about it sounds like a plane landing. And there's a scene in Blood Diamond. You ever seen Blood Diamond? Leonardo DiCaprio?
Yeah.
The very beginning of that movie, I think the rebels take over. And a guy shoots an RPG and it does a big circle before it lands. If you don't know how to fire it right, it'll just go like that. I remember it doing that and then fucking hitting the building, exploding. Well, Mac sees this shit go literally over his head, starts firing off Mark 19 rounds in whatever direction he believes. We get in the fucking Humvee, we go down, and these SF guys pop up out of nowhere. And this SF dude, shit is brand new, dragon scale. They all wore Team America World Police. You ever seen that movie? Mm-hmm. So Team America World Police is made by Matt Stone and Trey Parker, the guys who do South Park. You gotta watch it. It's fucking phenomenal. It's on Netflix. It is one of the greatest movies of all time.
They're the guys that do South Park?
Yeah, but they did it at a pub. They just did it to they're making fun of America, but it also became one of the most patriotic movies ever. You gotta watch it.
Is it the one with the puppets and
yes,
stuff?
the puppets.
Okay, I've seen bits and pieces of it.
It's fucking amazing.
Is it the one where they do he says it's the greatest fight scene ever?
Yeah, and they're yeah, it's fucking, that movie is amazing. At one point, the guy having sex, and the guy takes a dump on her chest. It's amazing. Well, anyway, so that movie came out, I think 2003, and every Special Forces guy had that patch of Team America World, everybody. So you see this guy, Team America World Police, and I remember he had his weapon cocked up like this, trying to look all fucking Rambo-esque.
Yeah.
His fucking nerdy fucking Oakley glasses on. Same ones you have. And
I don't have Oakley glasses on. I got Wiley X's. It's different. It's cheaper.
Okay, well,
and they fit my face.
Oakley version of that.
They fit my face.
So, I remember And he drives up, and they're all like, what SF used to do is they used to take what's called an IR patch. So they have an IR version of the American flag. That's so helicopters will see, but they like wear their hat. Fucking, what's up? I remember, so we're driving by, and we're like, and Mac to the gunner, and the SF gunner, he's like, hey man, did you see anybody? Was it RPG? Like, nah, what happened? Like, oh, we got shot at. And the SF guy goes, cool. Mac goes, no the fuck it's not. Like, no it's not. Like, clearly this dude just got out of fucking 18 X-ray training. And Matt goes, put a fucking helmet on, dumbass. Like, out loud, this guy ducks down. He come back up with the kids. He had these hockey helmets. And he come back up, and he's on the gun. And he's like, you could tell he's nervous. Because we had been there at that point like, for like 9 months. And we got an because before that we had a Ranger unit attached to us. I think it was second pad. And they were cool. They would just fuck shit up. But SF guys always wanted us like, hey man, can you guys like help us with this? Or yeah, but I've never met a not great Special Forces guy. But some of them come from like MOSs of, you know, accountants or cooks.
Yeah.
You know, so they get into combat, they don't really know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah.
Unless you start out that way or you're previous like medic or fucking 11 Bravo. Right, yeah. So, and then I got blown up with a car. So then we talk about. So, we were on, at the time, the last 3 months of my deployment, I was Sergeant Major's bodyguard. And it was amazing. Because I went from not doing night missions, no night missions, right? Just doing day missions. And it was Sergeant Major, we go to meet with a sheik and be like, what can we do to make the town better? And it'd be the same fucking conversation every time. She could be like, we need electricity and more contracts. So a big thing they used to do overseas in Iraq was the U.S. government would give you all this fucking money for a contract. But then they would bid the contract down to lowest bidder. And by the time they got to the bottom, they had like $1,000 to build a school. And like, where the fuck did all the money go? That shit happen all the time. And I mean all the time. Looking back on that surplus, we've probably given more money away just for dumb shit like that so these people can pocket it. Just have to I remember one time we paid somebody $1 million to build a fucking hospital, and by the time the contract got back to us, the guy had like $30. He's like, I can't. He's like, me and my brother, like, we can't. Can you guys give us more money to do? And they're like, dude, where the fuck did the $1 million go? Like, we only 30 of it. $30. Anyway,
That's crazy.
So Sergeant Major's bodyguard, July 31st, 2007. My dad's birthday is August 1st, and we're called Route Tampa. So Route Tampa is I-95 of Iraq. Goes from Balad to Mosul, or is that the other direction? Something like that. I don't know. I don't remember my Iraq map anymore. But so around Route Tampa, and I remember there was a Lexus LS 430 side of the road, and I was in the lead truck, and the hood was popped and the trunk was popped, which always meant fucking explosion. So our truck commander, Sergeant Docky, was like, hey Curtis, let's get out and do ground clear. And ground clear essentially just means you're coming out of the truck, you're going diagonal, and then you're going forward. So like 3/4 of a rectangle. Well, the whole point of that is to look for wires, other shit. I've set off IEDs on accident that way. Like, I remember one time we were ground clearing and I was kicking shit. I was like, what the fuck is on my foot? And I fucking went like that and boom, right behind us. Nobody died. It was nothing. I was like, oh shit. They're like, Curtis, you alright? I was like, yeah, I think I did that. Yeah. It's like, what the fuck, man? I was like, I don't know. Because you're not supposed to do that. I was like, the fuck off me. Bang. Oh shit. Anyway, so next to the car was this boy. He couldn't be like 9 years old and he had a bag of rice on him. He was waiting for us. He was ready to cross. And I was like, Sergeant Docky, look. This kid right there, they don't kill kids. The greatest shields in Iraq, unfortunately, are kids. They don't shoot kids. Afghanistan might be different, but I know about Iraq. They don't shoot kids. So you hide behind the kids if you're in the open. Always have chocolate on you. Always. And I saw the kid. I was like, fucking right there. Like, they're not going to kill the kids. Let's just go. And by that point, I was in Charlie Company in 1505. So I'd seen more shit than everybody in that entire convoy up to that point. So they're like, all right, we'll listen to you. So So we drive by it, and I remember driving by it, and I remember looking over, and I remember this white flash, and I remember just coming down, you know, hands up on the head. I just remember, boom! And I remember waking up, and we're moving. Denny was our driver. I remember slapping him awake. Falls down was our gunner, and he was, like, out of it. Sergeant Docky was in truck commander. Shotgun, he was out. It hit the right side. So I tore the whole right side off except for the doors. Doors were still intact because we had up armored at that point. When I first got there, bro, they had like doors that would be like, it's like made out of pizza crust. Like, dude, this small rodents are gonna get through this thing. Like, what are we worried about bullets? Oh, so I slapped Denny awake. I see these two guys running. I jump out. Pow, 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 pow. Do what I had to do. And then I was all calm. That was the other thing. Like, I remember, like, everything just, like, slows down.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I remember my breathing and shit. It was just weird.
Adrenaline.
I remember, like, thinking, like, oh, man. I was like, this is easy. It's like, I guess this is how they do it. The whole time I'm doing shit. Riding trails that way, I should say. And then I remember this car coming down. Toyota Camry, white. It was like a late 90s model. And they used to say one VBID, there's always two. VBID stands for vehicle something born IED. And I remember this, because, you know, there's no DMV in Iraq, so people are just like, oh, bomb, let me drive through, I'm stupid. So I saw the car, I shot at the engine block, and it like, didn't move, and I was like, cool. And I right to dead center to the windshield. And the car stopped. And then there was a bridge overhead, and they had oh my god, baby Jesus Christ. Anyways, they had so QRF was at the bottom of the bridge, which was third platoon from Charlie Company. I was first platoon, they were third platoon, and QRF stands for Quick Reaction Force. I can't remember why they were there, but it was just always they were always around. You know, whenever you were tasked as QRF, you were like around in the city. They just happened to be at the bottom of the bridge, so they see the explosion. They come rushing up. They start interrogating the guards that were on the bridge because the Iraqi army was watching the bridge, and so their platoon starts, you know, fucking those guys up. Like, what the fuck, man? You guys are gonna let Americans die? People are gonna plant bombs here. They're not gonna say anything. And then I remember we started getting hit from another house over across the way to like it would have been to like my 4 o'clock. And when they started shooting and we started shooting back, and I remember walking up to the car. I remember the guy got out, passenger side. He's covered in blood. He's yelling. I was like, how the fuck is this guy alive? Like, I hit dead center. So me and Sergeant Major and Denny start walking up to it, and I realized it's a British car. I was like, oh shit. Yeah, because you look at a car, the driver's side's on the right.
Yeah.
Well, as I got closer, I was like, oh no, it's a woman. I was like, fuck. God damn it. Well, I look inside, and what happened was the round had come in point blank. Dude, I shot dead center. That round came in the windshield and kicked up and skinned her head. She was a permanent part in her hair, thanks to me. But that was it. That was it. Thank God she was okay. Because I was like, oh, fuck, I'm going to jail.
And isn't it, because I know in the police academy they were saying when you shoot, so when you're sitting in the car and you shoot through the windshield, it kicks up.
That's how I learned it. Yeah. You shoot
and when you
inside,
shoot in,
it shoots down.
It shoots down. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Well, I learned it on the job. Literally. I learned it on the job. Yeah. Yeah, it was nuts. Sorry. Fucking get blown up. I'm popular. I'm popular eating pizza. Anyway. So, I remember walking back. The car evaporated. Except the license plate and that kid's arm. That was it. I remember like holding it up and being like, woo! Get out of it, you know? And I remember, I think I still had the license plate. I think it was my parents' house. So they drive us back to the aid station. And I just fucking go back. So I think Alpha Company was out and they like helped do security while we get back. And yeah, I get back and the other sergeant, the battalion sergeant major's there. And he used to call me Kurt. Like, hey, Kurt, how you doing? I was like, good, Sergeant Major. He's like, you all right? I was like, yeah, that shit was fun. And I was like, he's like, yeah. Because like, oh, Kurt, you crazy. I remember later, I called my dad. Because whenever somebody gets injured, they shut the phones down. They black out the phones.
Yeah.
Until Department of Defense can contact the family. So I got injured. So they blacked out the phone, so they're getting ready to. Well, the battalion commander had a satellite phone, so I called my dad. I think my dad was in Vegas or some shit. And I was like, hey, Dad. He was like, oh, hey, what's up, man? I don't recognize this number because you always call from, inside the base. But the number would, like, go back through the lines and would, like, come onto, like, Baltimore, like, weird area codes. And I was like, yeah, I'm calling this battalion commander's phone. I just got blown up, but I'm all right. He goes, all right, cool, man. He's like, all right, cool. And, yeah. And I can't remember if it was him or somebody else was like, did you grab it? And I was like, what? Did you grab it? Dude, grab what? Like, you're nuts. And I was like, I did. When I woke up, I was like, okay.
Is that like one of the...
You're like, oh shit, on my dick. Okay. Oh, thank God. Oh, bro, I grabbed my flag. I was like, I touch it, like poke it. I was like, oh, thank God.
That's crazy.
No,
That's like the
dude,
first
I would
thing.
have gone out there fucking jihad style with a couple of ambulances. I don't have a dick. Oh, yeah.
That's crazy. That's like the first thing.
Well, the first thing I did. Well, I was like, yeah, we did. I was like, yeah. So I called my dad. I was in Vegas. I was like, yeah, happy birthday, motherfucker. His birthday was the next day. I was like, happy birthday, I'm alive. He's like, all right, well, cool, man. He was in war, so he didn't really care.
Yeah.
And then I remember, this motherfucker, he swears I remember it differently, and I don't. So I know I'm right. Well, 2 or 3 days later, Sergeant Major calls me to his office since time on this bodyguard. He's like, hey, Kurt. He's like, when's the last time you talked to your mom? I don't know, Sergeant Major, maybe like a week or something? He's like, cool. He's like, you got about 1 hour to call your mom, or I'm going to give you what's called an Article 15. I'm going to demote you. And I was like, oh, shit. I was like, all right. He was like, did you not call her after you got blown up? I was like, I called my dad, Sergeant Major. He's like, whatever happened, call your mom. So I called my mom, and I was like, Mom, it's me. I'm okay. She's like, oh, my God, I'm so worried. And then she explains the story about how Department of Defense calls her home. My mom answers. This is towards the end of my deployment, so I'm getting ready to come back, right?
Yeah.
It's like July, right? July, August. And my mom is like, hello? And, this is whoever from the Pentagon. We just called her inform me that your son was in, like, an incident, I think they called it. And my mom's like, oh, my God, can you tell me more? And they're like, no. Good luck with your thoughts, motherfucker.
Yeah, good God.
Yeah.
That's like...
So my mom, I don't know if they told her I would be in touch soon or somebody else will contact me. So I didn't tell her shit. So
not
my
even a
mom's like,
timeline or anything?
No, nothing.
Just
Just
soon.
your son has been in an incident overseas.
Jeez.
And they don't really give much detail. Wow.
I mean, I guess like...
kind of a dick move, but anyway, so we have this family readiness group, right? Family readiness group, it was like all the wives and shit, we're infantry, so it's just all dudes, it's just all the wives. And my mom was a part of it, sort of. And my mom called the person who runs it, one of the captain's wives, and was like, hey, I haven't heard from my son, like, I think he might be dead, like, what do I do? And that woman panicked, called the battalion commander's wife, who runs our section, is like, yo, there's this Specialist Curtis, like, do we know if he's dead? She's like, I don't fucking know. And then it made it all the way to CENTCOM, Central Command. I don't know how the fuck it did. But it made it so high. We're talking 4-star general range, right? It's not good. It's not. It's bad. Who the fuck is Specialist Curtis and why isn't he called his mom? Like, that's how bad it was.
God.
So, that made it to his wife or somebody. And he was like cool with fucking Unity and then called the battalion commander personally. It was like, if you don't get Specialist Curtis to call his fucking mother right now, like, we're gonna have a problem, basically. Not really, but
That's
like,
actually,
what the fuck is this?
It's actually kind of cool in a way that's like a big...
Oh yeah, that's a big
deal.
thing. Oh yeah.
That's actually pretty cool. I never knew that.
And battalion commander told Sergeant Major. Yeah. And I was like, Mom, I called Dad. He was in Vegas. She's like, he never fucking called me. Oh, yeah. She fucking went off. I'm like, yeah, I told Dad. I tell you shit.
And it's weird because, like, whenever I had an incident or anything, like, the first thing that we had at UVA, it was my first ever shots fired call, and was able to see a hole in a dude's side and everything. Yeah, we had to experience that. Took him into the ER and everything, and I remember we had to do the hospital on lockdown, and we had the Hummer and stuff that was going around. CPD ended up catching the group, but it was the same Hummer. Kept driving around 3 or 4 times. If you know or have any common sense on any of it, you can definitely tell the Hummer. I mean, big old rims, tinted windows. You're like, okay, this is the group of guys that probably did this or was involved with this. And all I had was my pistol, and the guy beside me had the rifle and everything. So we're all just sitting there, outside the door. And 5 or 6 times this thing comes around, and I put it in my mindset like, okay, at any time we're going to get a drive-by shooting, and or we're going to get involved. So I knew exactly where I was going to go and everything like that. But after the fact, because like what you were saying about everything going in slow motion, after the fact, my adrenaline stopped, and I had to pull into a parking lot behind one of the buildings, and I immediately just stopped, and I thought like I was hallucinating. Because it was like after the adrenaline dump and everything, I can't remember if I called Mom. I think I did. I'm pretty positive I did, and she talked me through it. I was like, it was weird. And then, of course, calling Mom, though, is one thing, but Dad gets pissed on all that stuff. He's like, well, why didn't you call me? So, I don't know.
I learned how to deal with adrenaline dumps because it would come and go.
Yeah.
So if you're getting shot at firefight, you do the after-action shit. And then you get shot at again. So after a while, you just naturally turn.
Yeah, you get that experience, and that was my first experience on that stuff because I knew the adrenaline dump of sports and stuff, but not of like, oh hey, it could be life or death at this point. Wow. So, so I couldn't. And it was something that kind of it hit me hard, and it hit her obviously with everything, especially with how the world was going on with law enforcement and stuff like that. But how long, I guess, did it take for you to get back? Because I know that they have classes and stuff like that. How long did it take for you to get to
classes?
Like, the civilian, like going back from
I didn't know
tour to there wasn't no classes.
Fuck no.
Somebody told me
when I got out.
Like,
well, not when I got out. When I got out in 2010, June 23rd. Technically May. June 23rd, 2010. When I got out, you're like, all right, motherfucker, go see the VA. Bye. That was it. Your ETS, right? And that was it. And I went and saw the VA, and I spoke to some therapist. She was like, oh, yeah, you got traumatic brain injury, bad lower back. What else? Purple Heart gives you like 10%. But yeah, so I get a VA check every month of my life until I die. It's pretty great. Ex-wife can't fucking touch it. Even better.
So you didn't get any, because I can't remember a buddy of mine, I'm pretty positive he told me that they do now, I guess, after your time coming out, is they do like a transfer class or something from deployment to civilian life, like right before you get out.
Hell, fuck no.
So you kind of got thrown
I got
into
nothing. I was like,
and...
hey, let's see if you got any holes in your dick. You got cancer? No, cool. High five. Bye. Turn all your shit in. Yeah, there was no class. I just got back home, and then I met my ex-wife right when I got back. When I was out of the military, I should say. And I already had a place set up and everything. Yeah.
So did you have like a coping mechanism, I guess, for
drinking, lifting weights? I don't know. That's it. Nobody fucking bro. When I got out, nobody gave a fuck. Nobody cared.
That's the shit that pisses me off, because that's one of the things that I'm trying to do with this is there's a lot of people, and the thing that makes me so mad with everything is, the 13 people that got killed, what was it, last month?
Yeah, you talking about Afghanistan?
Yeah, in Afghanistan.
That was this month.
Was it this month?
Yeah.
So
we're in September. Oh yeah, it would have been last month.
Because it's crazy that like you get 5 or 6 days worth of posts like, hey, we get this, and it's the big thing, kind of like with yesterday's stuff with 9/11, is there's one day of unity basically, and Well, I guess it's technically like multiple days. You got Memorial Day, Veterans Day, 4th of July, and all that stuff. But there's specific days that people are like, oh yeah, you know, our military, our first responders, everything like that. But then it should be, to me, it should be an everyday thing, and that's what I'm trying to do.
You know, I mean,
I get it, but it's
here's
sucks.
the thing. What I did is pretty easy to do. Just walk around and don't get shot at, or shoot people. If it happens, that's all you gotta do. It's pretty easy. Just get your fucking ass handed to you all the time. That's about it. Not that difficult. It wasn't like I was flying planes and shit. Just walking around getting shot at. Hey, whoa! You know, fuck you too. Yeah, I mean it's it's not that hard.
So what was one thing that you could say was, I guess, the funniest thing that happened, I guess, while you were over?
Funniest thing that happened?
Was there? I'm sure there's got to be something, because I mean, having that kind of personality, there's always something that you.
I mean, the most important thing I learned over there is that we call him Haji. It's not the exactly appropriate term, but it's a term. Haji had the world's greatest Wi-Fi, and they would always have porn under like Nokias. Because back then,
Nokia, wow.
Nokia, right? Yeah. Yes. And they would always have, so when I went over, Syria was like the west of the Arab world.
Yeah.
Like they were super Americanized. They I think I had like a couple of buddies who went to Damascus to like hang out. Syria, there was none of that. Sure, a lot of shit. Fuck that. No, it was a straight shot, awesome place. And they used to make all this porn. And fucking
they used to make it?
Oh yeah, let's make porn. Oh yeah. Yeah. And I remember the Iraqi police and Iraqi army guys, not necessarily the Kurds, but as time went on, they'd be like, Mr. Freaky, yeah. They'd be like, hey, Mr. Yeah, freaky. They go like this, right? They fuck their hand. And they'd be like, what? And they turn their phone, and it's just some girl just getting fucking derailed. Dude. You're like, dude, where'd you get this? I remember we used to use, because they had minutes. And we buy them their calling cards and just steal their cell phones. It was like, call people and be like, hey, what's up, baby? But it was worse. So back then, the lag time was awful. Lag time was about 4 seconds. So I'd be like, hello. 1, 2. Hey, how you doing? Yeah. Right now. That's how it was. And on theirs, it'd be 12 seconds. It'd be like, hey, mom. You could hear it be like, hello. And they were like, oh, hey. So we didn't use them that often because sometimes you get hung up.
Yeah, I get
But
that.
yeah, they always had porn. There's just always dudes just gorilla stomping females. It was always like 3 of them just cooking this one chick, dude. Just every time. It's like, where do you guys get this stuff? Oh yeah. I remember we were out, they had this Benji oil refinery, right? The largest oil refinery in Iraq. You're in the middle of nowhere. And fucking Iraqi police guy goes, Mr. Hey, freaky, yeah. You'd be like, and you turn and he's like, I just knew it'd just be some. And that's the other thing. They were very racist over there. And I remember this guy was showing me, he's like, Jay, like, dude, what? Like, oh my, some black dude just crushing this chick, dude. I just remember being like, how are you getting service? Like, this is the equivalent of like Yuma, Arizona. Like, how do you have service out here, man? Like, we're the fucking dunes. How is this possible? Whatever that service they have, that provider out there, fuck Verizon. Like, I want that shit. They had constant service. And they used to download movies, and they'd watch CNN. Yeah, it was weird. Yeah, weird group of people. Very nice, though. I was saying this about the Iraqis, man. Fucking, some of the nicest people I ever met. Wahhabis can eat a fucking dick. And like, they're the ones who blew me up. Wahhabis is a sect of Islam. Predominantly found in Saudi Arabia. But they shave their heads, they got beards, right? What I oddly want to look like at the sheriff's office. But, longer beards. Right? But they're fucking assholes. And every time we run into those guys, they were just such dicks. And you just beat the shit out of them. And they still never get, they always wanted to kill Americans. It's like an Iraqi, right? Like, this guy's trying to kill me. But I get it. Like, we would never treat them too disrespectfully. Like, I understand. You fuckers came to our place. Take over Grottos. Good luck. You know what I'm saying? Go down to Green. Go with those fucking good old boys. Yeah, see how well it goes.
This should have been the whole premise of Red Dawn. Like, yeah, go into like the hood or the country. Like, this movie's over.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And that's I had a conversation like when we call it the social club at a hunting camp, and one of the guys, Brian Decker, he talks about his military experience, and he is a police officer at Virginia Beach. And he talks about all that stuff, and because I mean it's like shootings and stuff every day.
Wild as shit.
It's every day. And he was talking about that. We were talking about like the Red Dawn thing, and we were like, and it could really happen. We're like, oh yeah, it could really happen. I was like, but you go to like Augusta County, back parts of Rockingham County, grottos, like there's meth heads and everything. You're gonna have night. There's gonna be night missions and stuff with all the meth heads and stuff around here.
Yeah, drop into like parts of like New York City.
Oh yeah,
it's a rat. Dude. It's gonna kill you.
Yeah,
they're all strapped. Good, and that was always my logic when people were like, "Oh man, working in the city," because I used to be a city cop, and they're like, "Working in the city must have been crazy." It's like, no, these hood motherfuckers can't shoot. These country boys have sighted rifles. Like, I'm not out there.
Sighted hand.
Yeah, it's not right, not to the sided. I mean, sighted. Yeah, those motherfuckers, dude. So now being in Albemarle County, like sometimes you gotta go to like Scottsdale areas. Like, man, don't shoot me coming through your.
Oh yeah, property. I was more absolutely, and it's when I do deliveries and stuff now. That's the one thing. It's not
like I honk your horn 100 times.
Yeah, please. It's not necessarily like the people. It's like I went to a stop the other day. It was actually like back part of Culpeper, and back then it was the first route I've ever done in that part, and. They always tell you stuff like, like with the sheriff's office doing stuff with civil process. Like I remember Andy always said, take like a dog biscuit or something and it helps. I don't. So you carry an empty, 5-gallon jug. If a dog comes up, you boom, and it'll stop. Well, I get out of the truck and I take a purified water. I put it on my shoulder and then I hear just this bass of a, oh. I was like, what was that? Like, and most of the times, like the people that usually get the water have like the little teeny Pomeranians or stuff like that. Like it's not that big a deal. The ankle biters. Well, as I heard it, but I didn't see it. So then, as I'm walking, I look and there's just this swole Rottweiler
diesel.
Yeah, and it's ridiculous. And then right beside it was this beautiful German Shepherd. But I'm like, all right, German Shepherd, Rottweiler, like. If I'm going to get torn up, like these are going to be the two that's going to do it.
Yeah.
So I go in and and this usually like you can kind of tell the difference between like the base of the bark that gets, you can see it foaming at the mouth. And it does like this boom, boom, like on the ground. Like it like takes 2 steps and it goes boom, boom. And I'm like, nope. I put the jug down and get back in the truck. I wouldn't mind if somebody getting threatened to be shot and stuff like that happens all the time. It happened more actually when I was doing power line stuff. Like when I left the sheriff's office to do that, I got threatened to get killed more times.
Why?
All right, so from what we read up on is everybody pays property taxes. Some people pay more property taxes when they have a telephone pole in their yard.
Yeah.
Because it's not their property.
Yeah.
You have like I think it's like a 40-some foot radius or something that whoever owns that pole, they own that part of your yard.
Oh, so you guys get trespass.
Yeah, we basically, but we were an unmarked, basically like truck. We were an old piece of shit, bucket truck, and it just got done raining, so we ended up, putting some ruts and stuff in this guy's yard, and it happened at least 3 or 4 times a day. Me and Coda Wagner, and he was in the Marines. Just got out, and we were all basically, and he took it very, very well. But old people would come out and like, "You're gonna fix our yard. You're gonna fix our yard." He says, "You're lucky I don't put you on body bags and stuff right now." And of course, like I was like, "Okay, this is fine. Like let's do it." Like I was ready to go. We were all carrying and stuff, so we were like, "All right, well, let's go." But yeah, I had more people wanting to threaten my life on that stuff. I guess tearing up their yard, knocking on somebody's door, like, here's a subpoena for you. You're gonna go to court.
Yeah, it is weird.
Yeah, and that was
a lot of driveways.
Yeah.
Fucked up a lot of driveways. Like fuck you, man. Anyways, what were we talking about before then?
I guess so you said that you didn't have coming back to civilization and stuff like that, but the funniest thing that you experienced over there, you were talking about
Oh, yeah. The Hodgeborn.
The Hodgeborn.
Fucking Hodgeborn, man.
Now the Nokia, like I'm trying to, it was like the indestructible, like you see the memes, like the indestructible phone.
Yeah,
how could they
see the screen, bro? Let me tell you, it's small. Because
it's basically like Minecraft porn, pretty much.
No, that's the weird part. It was legit.
What?
Yeah, I mean, not like 4K. I mean, but it was. You could see it very clearly. See P to V right there, and the P to M and P to A and P to everything. You know, they would always watch gangbangs. That was like their thing. I don't know. Oh, the other time, I remember this. It's kind of gross. We got these thermoscopes, right? So
Oh God.
And we're sitting doing an OP, and my team leader, Sergeant Grace at the time, was like, "Hey, Curtis, you ever seen one of these things?" I was like, "No." He's like, "You want to look through it?" I was like, "Yeah." So I looked through it, and he's like, "Do you see that thing in the distance?" I was like, "Kinda." He's like, "All right, well, let's go." He zooms it in. He goes, "Do you see anything now?" I was like, "No, not really." So he flips it from, there's like white black, so the images are white. But then you could flip it to the other one. I can't remember what the other one is. I think it might be black white. And he's like, "All right, hang on, let me switch." And then he zooms it in. He goes, "What do you see now?" And I see like this like movement. It looked like fucking. And I was like, "Yo, somebody's fucking." He goes, "Hang on." And zooms it in. This guy is just banging the sheep on top of his roof. So in Iraq, nobody really has air conditioning, so they all sleep up top at night. And this dude was just fucking stuffing this sheep, dude. Yeah.
Oh
my
God.
I remember asking some of the Iraqi police guys about it. I'm sorry, I asked the interpreter to ask Iraqi police. And they said the sheep's vagina feels like a female's. And that's when I learned that. And then I was like, that's why we call them goat fuckers. Because they're just banging sheep, bro. Yeah. That's pretty gross. Like, what the fuck? Banging sheep, man.
God.
You know? Maybe creating hybrids out here. We don't even know.
Create the hybrid.
Hybrid sheep.
Maybe that's how the
Yeah.
Minotaur came about.
I don't know how it came. I don't know. They're weird people, man. Nice people. The weird thing about, I should say the interesting thing about Islam is when they invite you to your house, you're like a guest. So that's why Afghanistan took Osama bin Laden in the way they did. Because in Islam, once you're in my house, you're a guest. I can't touch you. Man, I think Afghanistan is like, well, he's a guest in our fucking country. Fuck you guys. And then hence what happened. But there was this video I took of this guy. He had a sheep. And we're doing Overwatch for, I know it was middle of the day. I think we were doing like talking to some sheik about, I don't know, touching dicks or something. And I remember I was in the turret. And I watched in the street corner. This guy had the sheep. And his sheep is sitting there, and they're like, they say something to each other, and he flips them over, ties the feet, cuts the neck, steps on the neck. So all the blood goes out. They tie it upside down, back legs first, and they fucking cut right at the hooves, and then they retie it one more time, and then they strip. They just fucking the whole skin, everything off, and cut the head off, or cut the head off, then they strip it. And I watched them do this, strip down to the meat part in like 2 minutes. It was like the most incredible thing ever. Oh my god,
That's crazy. I might have to learn that the deer way.
Right, but this was even faster.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
and they fucking cooked it up. And I remember we got some. I can't remember what the fucking term of it for is anymore. My Arabic's all gone now. But yeah, they give it to you for like, because you just give them like American money because the fucking value. So wait, if I get one more text message, I'm gonna break this phone. And so they just like, and it always had this like weird green snot looking thing on top.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is. I think somebody said it was like mint, but I was like, I don't know. It was delicious, but I would milk toilets because like you would blow. I remember this. This is probably one of the worst ones. We were doing an overview. Overwatch is called an OP. And we got to do it in some guy's house, and we were watching this bridge where people were planting IEDs. And I remember I just had to poo a fucking year ago. And I remember the guy who owned the house, we gave money to because we were using it. And he was like, what's wrong with him? Me. Because I would do the Overwatch thing and came downstairs. We trade out every hour. And I was fucking dying. He's like, what's wrong with him? I'm like, yeah, Curtis, what the fuck's wrong with him? He's like, dude, I got shit. He's like, well, you can go in my kitchen and shit. And I was like, what? Oh, yeah. So in his kitchen, they have these holes.
Okay.
And then there's a little bit of a barrier around them for splatter, I would assume. And he had this hose. So you shit in the hole, and then you hose it. He's like, yeah, you can go right there. And I was like, I'm not
The hose just like
shitting in a hole.
Is it just a hole or is
no, the hole?
go out
Yeah, it's a
somewhere?
hole. It's a hole. Hole. Like
You just dug it up.
imagine being in your kitchen and there's like a section. It almost made it look like dog beds, right? But it was like rectangular, but it's concrete, and there's a fucking hole. Just goes down to poo and pee and whatever else. Fucking, I don't know. I don't know if this woman was trying to lose weight and she just pulled the trigger. I don't know. What else? You know. And I was like, dude, I can't shit in there. But I remember that's the first time. And I remember I got back and I shit for like 3 days straight of just nothing but just, it was just, everything was coming out. That lamb used to rock me, but it was so goddamn good.
Oh, dude, lamb, like if you go...
Nah, bro, we're talking like straight off the fucking rack. Right, I mean straight from the animal, like that day, fucking,
And they saute it and they do all this crazy shit.
I guarantee it. That'd be good.
Oh, bro, I can't even eat lamb now. They look at it, it's, you know, it's awful.
I never had it until we all went at the sheriff's office. We had a big group before you came on. We went to the Texas Day Brazil.
Oh, yeah.
And,
That was awesome.
oh, absolutely amazing. And that was the first time I ever had lamb, and I want to make it all the time for, like, I want to do it for, like, special events like Christmas and stuff like that. Because I tried this blueberry sauce one time, and I made it with, like, a steak, and how salty lamb is, that would just be, I mean, perfect.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I wanna try that one time.
I shit for 3 days, so
Yes!
I don't know. I mean,
That was blueberry sauce. I don't know if that would be... If that would be...